Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me. I have an awesome topic for you tonight. It's called Why Saying Yes to Adventure is the Best Decision That You Can Ever Make. So, I'm Yvonne, founder and CEO of Women's Fitness Adventures. I've been doing this for 11 years now, and let me tell you, I love going on adventure. So, I am home in my office for the first time, other than 2 days last week, in 3 weeks. So, I have been mainly in New Zealand this time, and I just love being on adventure. And why? Because it is great for my soul. So let me just share a little bit of a story while we're getting introduced here. So right now, where I live, we are on cyclone watch. So we will know more in the morning, but it is literally looking like pretty much a direct hit of a level 2. So not the highest cyclone, but a level 2. So as I've been away for a couple of weeks and my family all travel as well, one of the things that isn't particularly well stocked in our house, because we're not that type of people, is toilet paper. And so today I did a bit of a stock take, and there is literally, I have quite a few bathrooms, one roll in each bathroom that is currently in use. So literally we are out of toilet roll. So I need to go to the store. The problem is, there is no toilet paper in the store. So we are back in that situation of panic buying happening again. So my husband is still away. He's in Adelaide and he's coming home tomorrow. He needs to come home early because his flights won't be able to land when he was originally due on Wednesday night because of the cyclone. So I have sent him, and this is what it says. And this is not a joke. I said, "Hi, we've run out of toilet paper and so have the shops. Can you please bring some home?" Now, he is, 2,000 kilometers away from me. Just a few rolls will be fine. And no, this is not a joke. So it's not often that you get to send a text message like that and someone from another state bringing toilet roll to you, because I'll give the stores a go tonight, but it's highly unlikely that I will be able to find toilet roll. So, okay, so Alethea, hello from the south coast of New South Wales, has plenty of toilet roll paper from COVID. Wow, you still have that? Gosh, that was like years ago. So anyway, you can tell in our house that we are, and you'll send me some too, Meg. Thanks. I don't think it will get here in time. We are meant to have in the next, what day is it today? Monday. So pretty much intensifying from tomorrow night through to Saturday night. So we'll see. We'll fill up the water and we'll do all those sorts of things. And as a nice segue, what an adventure this week is going to be as we watch. We've had some weather conditions like this before, but it is all about adventure and keeping that open mind and keeping that positive spirit about things. It is what it is, and so we need to make the most of how we do it. So I want to talk tonight about why saying yes to adventure is one of the best decisions that you will ever make. Now, I travel. Oh, thanks, Anne. I should have thought about that last week. So Anne is in New Zealand, says there's plenty there across the Tasman. So I'll just jump on that plane. But the problem is I won't come back. I love your country. Saying yes to adventure is one of the best decisions that you can ever make. And I've been away, as I said, for 2 weeks in New Zealand, and I knew from day 2 when we started hiking of the first hike that I was back in that happy place, that all of those things that nourish and nurture my soul really just came back to, put me in the right space, right where I needed to be when I needed to be. And I know that for many of the ladies that we adventure with, that is their happy space as well. But one of the things that we get caught up on is, how do we know how to say yes to an adventure? And there's lots of things that can stop us from that. But we also know that life is short as well. And that, one of you mentioned COVID there before, that there is windows of opportunity in our life. There's opportunity all around us, but certain windows where we get to take advantage of that. But being open to opportunity and open to saying yes is a really wonderful thing, because you don't know where it can lead you to. But I do know that, in the last 20 years, as I've been in the space of women's health and wellness, is the fitter I got, the stronger I got, the more I felt confident to do things, and the more I could say yes to things without feeling some of that guilt hanging around me as well. But if you've ever felt yourself thinking or overthinking the questions of, am I fit enough? Do I know anyone? Should I wait? Then today's chat is for you. And I was just watching, we've got some new videos that we've created, and watching the stories about why should I wait or not wait. And one of them, I'll share it with you in a couple of days, is, there's a girl on this adventure who had been stalking us for 18 months. And then the next part of that video is the girl on that adventure who had been stalking for 18 months. And she said, I don't know why I waited that long. I should have just jumped in. Now there is not enough time for me to do everything. And that's a common thing that that we then worry about. When we say yes to the adventure and being the best decision that you can ever make, it opens up your eyes to this wonderful world of opportunity and friendships and fitness and good health and good times. And then you are playing catch up. I have so many things that I want to see and do in this great outdoors with this fabulous new friendship group that I have created. And, saying yes to an adventure, saying yes to going hiking, saying yes to going away with some women that you may not know is a door to a new world. And sometimes you just have to say yes, say yes when you can't find the reasons to say no, right? We can all come up with, no, I should stay and, look after this, or no, I should blah, blah, blah. Or when there is no reason for you not to say yes. So have a think about that. So hello, Jelena. Hello, Meg. Hello, Suzanne, driving to Melbourne. And hello, Kerry. You can send toilet paper. I can send rain. We're worried about bushfires. We are going to get somewhere between, what did they say, 300 mil to 1,000 millimeters this week, which is a New Zealand equivalent hydroelectricity scheme amount of water coming our way. So the number one regret that we hear from women who say yes to an adventure, and yes, there is a regret. Can anyone tell me what that regret is? That regret is, I wish that I had booked sooner. I wish that I had joined sooner. So I'm going to talk, there's several ladies. There's Prue, there's Robin, there's Gail, there's Lynn, there's Carolyn, who, and they're just some recent ladies who have joined us on adventure. And I remember Carolyn's first hike with us, which was to the Pyrenees, and she had watched us for 18 months thinking, I should join, I should, and then took that step into adventure. And now Carolyn has gone on to do, 3 different hikes all overseas with us, or actually this will be her 4th one coming up this year, all in the space of about 2.5 years. And it is all about, as Carolyn says, just stepping in and saying yes. And in our book club online, we have an online book club inside our community. We read that book, The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes, and it is all about saying yes to an opportunity and saying yes to adventure. Hello, Carolyn from Claremont. Karen from Claremont, I've got Carolyn on my mind. As I, move into this space of me being away on an adventure, it switches to that adventure mindset. And one of the things I was discussing last week with some of my business peers was that when we get out of our comfort zone is where we grow. But how do we know where our comfort zone is? And I asked someone that. I asked one of my mentors, how do I know where my comfort zone is? Because I'm always pushing space. And they said, put yourself into something that's not normally in your realm. So that could be something as simple as, reading a different genre of book, or it could be watching a different style of movie, or it could be going to, a different side of town that you don't normally go to, or eating a different food, or putting yourself into a different friendship circle, or if you're in business, a different business circle. So that we get comfortable with this getting uncomfortable bit, get comfortable putting ourselves into new environments, because we don't know what we don't know. And some of those environments we might try and test and go, that's not for me. And others we might, grow and relish. But we get so comfortable in the space we're in that it's really easy to say no to things, because there's no reason for us to challenge ourselves. And that's fine if you want to live that style of life, but saying yes to adventure, saying yes to an adventurous mind. I know from some friends who are decades older than me, that doing new things and being around people much younger than them and having this social conversation and social connection and being fit and healthy at the same time is their key to being young, able, and active. But overthinking can hold us back as well. If we think too much about putting ourselves into a different environment, or about booking that thing, or going on that journey, or, trying a new cuisine, we spend so much time worrying about all the details that it can actually hold us back. So, if I were in my 20s, I quit my job. I took 12 months to travel with my then boyfriend, who's now my husband, around the world. And we went to places, we went all through Russia, all through Siberia, all through Mongolia, places that, Russia you cannot really go to now, or you can, but you probably wouldn't get any insurance to cover you. But if I had thought about that too much, I thought about the thrill of the adventure in a safe way more than I did about overthinking the what if. And along the way I grew, and along the way I got confidence, and along the way I found the way, and I found the people, and I found the thing that really lights me up. So I've been on all these different adventures, and I plan my own holidays as well. And one of the things I really learned in the past couple of weeks is just how much, it's my business, right? But how much I actually love the Women's Fitness Adventures community. There is, not only from the planning of the adventures where you literally book on and it's, I think as Angela said, it's, literally from the moment you book to the moment you finish, everything is done for you. The only thing that you have to think about is that one foot in front of the other. And, it's a big cognitive load when you're traveling, to be thinking about, where am I going to stay? How far am I going to walk? Who's going to pick me up? Even down to what am I going to have for dinner? That is a lot of mental effort when you're in a place that you don't know, and you're tired from a day's hiking or a day's sightseeing. So we take all of that experience away, and the only thing that you have to focus on is you. And we know that this works because our members who come on our multi-days keep coming back again and again and again. And I heard one say the other day that she's not going to travel with anybody else at all. And then a group, one of my trips that I recently had was, well, I travel with groups all the time, but I want to go with a women's group. So, we simply just take care of everything for you, and you're surrounded by women. And one of the things that I have learned over the past couple of weeks is the consideration inside the Women's Fitness Adventures community, the consideration of by all of you, for all of you, is just enormous. It is really powerful. It is really thoughtful, really considerate. There isn't any jostling or any competition. It is really, every woman is considered, and every woman is equal, and every woman is fully supported as well. So when you have that, and you don't have to do anything except walk, it really takes everything away but the enjoyment. Is just to step in and start enjoying. But a while ago in our masterclasses, I spoke about what type of hiker are you? Are you a destination hiker, or are you a multi-day hiker? And some of you may remember that masterclass, and some of you may not. But if you're a destination hiker, what's the difference, you say? A multi-day hiker is someone who is going on the adventure to enjoy the hike itself, not just to tick the destination or tick to say I did that, that distance or that hike. It is, I am there for the pure physical joy of being in that space, in that environment, of looking around as I move myself through the environment to see this amazing location. A destination hiker is someone who is happy to go to that space, do some hiking, and tick that box, and And you might think, well, Yvonne, I don't really get the difference between that. The multi-day hiker is someone who moves, that is their primary purpose. They are moving through that environment to hike in that environment. It's about, those moments on the trail and that sense of accomplishment as you finish a challenging day. And you may, if you're a multi-day hiker, you get what I'm talking about. It is about that immersive experience of being fully at one and out there with nature, and not thinking about what time we'll get back at the end of the day, or what shopping I need to do, or what other sightseeing. Now, don't get me wrong, we bake that into our adventures, but it is about being fully immersive and being fully out there. And that sheer joy, and I know Anne's watching, of, I've been in places and spaces in New Zealand where we are literally the only ones in that space, and that joy and that appreciation of nature at its very finest, and being in that space together but alone, or alone but together, to really experience is something so magical. And now I come back, and I was in Adelaide on the weekend, and there was the Junior Surf Lifesaving titles down there or something at the beach where my in-laws live. I couldn't go to the beach. It was just too many people. I've come to this space where now wherever I go, I don't need crowds. I need to be far from the madding crowds, as they say. But as I reflect on all the adventures that we've done, it is not just about joining a group of random women. And for those of you in the community who are watching, I know you'll feel the same. And if you're not a member and you're watching, please go ahead and let us know. But you're not just signing up for a hike when you come with us, or you're not just signing up for our membership where we talk about masterclasses or give you the fitness classes or the training plans or whatever it might be. You're actually joining this community. You're signing up for the friendship that comes now globally. We've had some members come join us from the other side of the world. You're signing up for this membership that is a global collection of women who share this spirit of adventure to challenge themselves in the outdoors. And challenge levels vary because we're all beautiful individuals, but to challenge themselves in the outdoors and transform into, the next version of themselves. There are many, many stories of, and I know that some of you here were recently with me on an adventure where you come along not knowing anyone and you leave and you're fast friends. And I know Anne's watching, and Anne and I have been working together for 8 years or so, but it was our first adventure as guide and leader together. And it was like two sisters on the trail together, because it was just that bond that we had formed over the years and over the distance. But when we finally got together in 3D, it was like there had never been that space between us. And that flows right through to our memberships as well. And I know that wherever I go in the world, and the members who travel with us, it is like traveling with friends, because we are all there to give our best to each other. And I know that when I've done, I don't do group travel other than with Women's Fitness Adventures. I do private travel with my husband, because I don't want to be in a group of people that I will only see for that adventure and then perhaps hold on to some Facebook connection for forever. I've got people like that. When I did an expedition trip a few years ago, I want people who can share that same story. So that's why when I travel personally, my husband and I just do it all privately. But there are so many people who have made friends through the community. And I know a few of you watching tonight have, bonded over our online activities and events and are off to do the Camino in a few short months. There are others who have, bonded over experiences and bonded over shared stories, who when they get on the trail it's like family. It is family who gets along, I should say. It's like family who gets along. It is just just such a wonderful thing to see. But our adventures are for women who love to hike, who feel energized. If you feel energized about moving your body, if you feel energized about what your future body and your future self will thank you for physically, about pushing yourself. It doesn't mean exhausting yourself, but it means pushing yourself and challenging yourself. And we had that chat at hiking this morning, that someone had come back from being absent for a while due to injury and illness, but pushed herself a little bit more last week and was so glad that she did. She just pushed herself over that limit a little bit. But, we say just book it, and you'll see this in some of the videos that are coming out shortly. There are so many common fears and so many reality checks. And, we all do it. We sit alone in our, on our chair, in our car, at our desks, or 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, and we wake up and we worry about all sorts of things. And most of the time, we can't take away that worry because it's still going to be there, but we can fester on it, and we can make up stories in our own heads of they will think this and they will think that, or she said this or she said that, when none of it is actually true. But in our head, we're playing this story over and over again. As women, we have that laundry list of worries. We worry about fitness. We worry about gear. We worry about joining a group. We worry about making smells in the night. We worry about, if we're sharing a room. We worry about toileting on the trail. We worry about all sorts of things. And every single one of our members who started on Adventures or started in our community, they got to the point where they realized, and this is exactly why I started Women's Fitness Adventures, is you didn't have to be perfect to start. None of us are perfect. Let me just get that straight. We're all perfect in our own way, but no one is a perfect human being. But we didn't have to be perfect. We didn't have to know it all to start. We just had to start. And why saying yes to an adventure is the best decision you will ever make is because you learn as you go, and you learn as you grow, and you go along the way. But instead of asking, am I ready? Could I do that? The question to ask is, the question is, say yes to the adventure. And what do I need to do right now to get ready for that adventure? Because it is all a stepping stone. And I used this quote the other day with my business group, and said someone was at a crossroads and wanted to know, they weren't even at the crossroad. They just wanted to know the path forward. And I said, it's like hiking, that you don't have to know the whole trail before you do the trail. All you need to do is put one foot in front of the other. And then when the fork in the road comes up, that's when you need to make the fork in the road decision. You don't need to make that decision 20 steps prior when you don't even know what it might be. If you say yes and step in, and you step on and you keep going, the fork in the road might look very different because you're a different person by the time you've got to that fork in the road. So we can overthink and we can overanalyze. And as I say to my husband, if you wanted to buy something, I said, don't talk to me. I don't think we need it. But if you want it, then go talk to that person because they'll talk you into it. So, you can find the answer from whoever you want, but just make sure that it's your answer, that it's what you want. So I'd love to hear your comments about this for those of you who have said yes to the adventure and what that has opened up for you. Because I know that some of you watching here, when you stepped in and said yes, that this whole almost domino effect to your life started happening. So if that is you, then please, I'd love you to share with us here. But our adventures, saying yes to our adventures in particular, aren't for everyone. So if you're looking for some casual sightseeing with hiking as a side activity, then that's not what we do. We're hiking and sightseeing is the side activity. But if you love being on the trail, if you love feeling strong and embracing adventure, then that's what you're saying yes to. So, I'd love if anyone does want to share their story of what happened when they said yes to the adventure, because I think that would be really cool. I'd love to know if you've been thinking of an adventure or thinking of something, what has been holding you back? I'm always about research, and I have, 20 years of stories from women who are good at saying no to themselves. So if you have something that's been holding you back, I'd love to know what it is. Or if you've already taken that leap, and I know some of you in here have, what made you say yes to that leap? So, I think that for all of us, our window is short. If we are, and my husband's grandmother, who sadly passed away a few years ago, 93, I think she was, said, she was always, everyone's biggest supporter and would always say yes to an opportunity. And she said, if you're physically able to, if you're mentally capable, then you should do that. And I saw this gorgeous Facebook or Instagram post this morning about being physically active and how people who are in wheelchairs or people who are sick in hospital or people who are bedridden would love to be able to use the body in the way that we are able to if we don't have any physical restraints. So don't take what we have for granted. So thank you, Kerry. I'm going to share Kerry's story. She said yes to 2 different Women's Fitness Adventures trips. One where nearly everyone knew nobody. Yep, so no one knew anyone. And the other was where I was the only one who knew no one. Got the riddle yet? But both were amazing and I had a great time. So just say yes. So that, we have women who on a whole adventure we can have, and we've got some coming up this year where no one really knows anyone. They might know the name through our community and might have connected through our groups, but physically have never met anyone. And then we have some where lots of our members are repeat coming on because they know the value of the adventure and they know each other like old friends. And so when someone like Kerry comes along who doesn't know them particularly well, that can feel a little daunting, but the spirit of the Women's Fitness Adventures community holds true. And Kerry was just enveloped into that experience as if she'd been with us for a long, long time. So thank you for sharing that, Kerry. And then Alethea says, like our book club states, if you can, you must. Yes, and that must be the current book, which I haven't read. But if you can, you must, because, one of my favorite songs is that Avicii song, The Nights. Live a life you will remember, because one day you'll leave this world behind. So live a life you will remember. Great line. Thank you, Alethea. And Meg says, joining my first Women's Fitness adventure was the first step in a number of life and lifestyle changes, all for the better. I'm healthier, happier. I've had great adventures and I've made some beautiful friends. And I know you have, Meg, because, you remind me of that frequently. And I share that story quite a lot as well. And it really was just saying yes to one thing and the domino effect that had to get going. So if this is calling you, if you are thinking, I'd love to say yes, then let's make it happen. Let's reach out, send us an email or send us a comment below and we can reach out. There's still some spots on our adventures left for this year, and we've had a couple of spots open up on our Morocco adventure in October, if anyone is interested. And we will be very soon releasing our 2026 and rolling out to 2027 adventures as well. But, the best stories in life start with yes. And I'll wrap up with, on the weekend, I was in Adelaide for my mother-in-law's 80th birthday, and it was a family celebration. It was a beautiful afternoon where we got together, we sat around, there was some tennis going on, sat around with some beverages, some tennis, and then we moved inside for dinner. And, it was immediate family, and there were some speeches, and there was some music suddenly came on, and our wedding song came on, Love Is in the Air, and then my father-in-law's favourite song, I Am Sailing by Rod Stewart, and then my mother-in-law's favourite song, which was I Am Woman by Helen Reddy. But somehow the group, the dancing, it wasn't long, had morphed into this circle where we all were arm in arm around each other. And there was so much love and gratitude for being alive in that moment. I'm sure it was the smoke machine that made us all cry. But just to hold that space, to be heavy and enveloped in love and gratitude was such a special thing. And it was such a moment. And afterwards it kind of dissolved and we took some photos, and my sister-in-law and I were talking about the power of saying yes. And did my mother-in-law know and my father-in-law when they said yes to getting married, and this can be to any decision, that this cascade of beautiful things would begin to happen, and that one seemingly just yes or no decision way back then, 57 years ago, created this beautiful story in life. And I say that because she said yes to marriage and creating this beautiful space so we could hold her 80th. But it's about saying yes to the adventure. It's about when I first said yes to buying a gym. It's about when I first said yes to running. It's about when I first said yes to hiking. It's about when I first said yes, I don't want to work in corporate anymore. So saying yes to adventure is one of the best decisions that you can make. So if that sounds like you and you want to go on an adventure and you're not sure which one is right for you, then message us, drop me a line here and we can have a chat. So thank you. If you are watching on replay and you have a story to share, drop it in here because they're always amazing stories. That's it from me. I will see you next week and let you know of another topic. So thanks for tuning in. Bye.